We're all in sync and we're all looking at one another and everybody's on board. Here we go. Maybe I think I'll move you over just a little bit like this. A little bit more centered, I think. Yep, I like that pretty good. Yep, like this. There. Make sure people have a good look at this monster. That's a scary sight, that is. Truly, that's a scary sight. And we're going to put this here. Nobody needs to see that baby face mug yet. Put the soft cover behind. People can get a good look. See, here we go. Putting in a note for all of our attendees today so they are aware. I know it's a long one. There we go. All right, we'll see who makes it here today. We got up to number 1 and asked questions the other day. It's always nice to be number 1 at something, somewhere, somehow. I'll put my glasses up here. Make sure we have everything set over here. That's the ticket. See what the heck we're doing, right? Make sure we don't trip on any cords. And then I am going to get started first. I use the 0 sugar muscle milk just as a protein replacement after I do a workout. This morning I finished my weights early and just came in from doing my mileage, so now it's time for just a little bit of replenishment if you want. As we're waiting for folks to start joining in. Initially it takes anywhere up to 10, 15 minutes from initial broadcasting until people finally get the notification that I'm on. And then they start telling others and get a pretty good sized crowd going eventually. So hopefully today we can answer a lot of questions on health issues, and I'll give them updates on the current flu situation, which is absolutely crazy this year. Worst in 7 years. No, the Australian flu, evidently the H3N1, they hadn't planned for it, and that's the one that evidently went ahead and has become more prevalent. England, the United Kingdom is getting creamed right now. I mean, literally, conditions have gotten to the point, even out here in California, where they've been setting up triage areas outside of hospitals. I heard something like that happening in Rancho Mirage. And till people start shuffling in, I'm going to play, well, let's see what games we have available. Alexa, what are my skills?
Here are a few of your enabled skills. First is Screen Test, Movie Quote Quiz. Alexa plays 5 movie clips. You guess the movies. Do you want to open it?
No.
Next is Guess the Celebrity. It's a fun quiz on famous celebrities. Alexa asks you 10 questions and you can try to guess the celebrity. At the end of the game, it will give you the score. Do you want to open it?
No.
The next one is Codename Cygnus, an airplay spy thriller story you play with your voice. Do you want to open it?
No.
Okay. Do you want to hear more?
Yes.
All right, here are a few more of your enabled skills. First is Lie Swatter. Lie Swatter TM, the hard to believe, voice activated, true or false trivia game from Jackbox Games. Do you want to open it?
No.
The next one is State Capitals. Alexa will say a state and its capital. Do you want to open it?
No.
Okay, next is Super Trivia. Super Trivia with lots of random trivia facts. Do you want to open it?
Yes. Yes. Alexa, open Super Trivia.
Welcome to Super Trivia. I will ask you 2 questions. Try to get them both right. Just say the number of the answer. Let's begin. Here is question 1. According to the classic show about Kevin Arnold, which years were the Wonder Years? 1. 1968 to 1973. 2. 1964 to 1969. 3. 1959 to 1964. 4. 1974 to 1979.
2.
That answer is wrong. The correct answer is 1. 1968 to 1973. Your score is 0. Question 2. A group of what birds is known as murder? 1. Hawks. 2. Ducks. 3. Crows. 4. Pigeons.
3.
That answer is correct. You got 1 out of 2 questions correct. Thank you for playing Super Trivia. Have a great day.
Well, that's not fun. It just stopped. You're supposed to keep on going or ask me if I want to play again. Alexa, play Super Trivia.
Welcome to Super Trivia. I will ask you 2 questions. Try to get them both right. Just say the number of the answer. Let's begin. Here is question 1. A major airport serving what U.S. city is named in honor of Mayors William Barry Hartsfield and Maynard Jackson? 1. New York. 2. Boston. 3. Los Angeles. 4. Atlanta.
4.
That answer is correct. Your score is 1. Question 2. A kilowatt is a unit of power equal to how many watts? 1. 2,400. 2. 1,000. 3. 2,000. 4. 5,000.
2.
That answer is correct. You've got 2 out of 2 questions correct. Thank you for playing Super Trivia. Have a great day.
Now what's up with that? You're supposed to keep on playing. Who's joined us? Hey, Aaron, what's going on? Oh, Scarvin. Squinting, not wearing my old man glasses today. Anyhow, I always do personal training, health coaching this time of day. Stretching. If you're sitting down, get up. If you've got any questions, my specialties as a certified personal trainer, certified health coach, I help people quit smoking, lose weight, get in shape, work on their diabetes, work on lower back pain. I'm an expert in all those fields because I've been there and done that. So hopefully, if you have any questions that I can answer today on pretty much any topic, take your pick. Right now I'm writing a dog book, but I published a book for humans a few years ago. Pushing Double Nickels. You find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, yada, yada. And this is basically just to help people get better. The dog book that's coming out later this year is to help people understand dogs better, make sure that we take better care of them overall. I think we can do a lot better job here in America taking care of all of our domestic animals. Who else has joined us? Let's have a peek and see. Oh, for you like, okay. I always wonder how people come up with their tag names on this one. Yeah, I'd love to hear the backstory on that one. I'll say it. You look constipated. All right, you made me laugh. Good job. If anybody has any questions that I can answer, the category is ask questions. So hit me up. Otherwise, I'll go back to playing lie swatter and do some stretching. If you guys are sitting down, seriously, get up. One of the main goals that I have as a health coach and personal trainer is to get people off their butts, and as often and as much as possible. I used to be real heavy. I was 250 pounds. This was at 205. I used to be 250 pounds and a 31-year cigarette smoker. So I didn't do myself any favors. I'm really, really big, BMI 38. I had to make some changes because I got hit with type 2 diabetes. And that's nothing to mess around with. You know, we have a crisis, two crises happening here in America right now. One is an obesity epidemic. I got caught up in that. Let me show you a picture. You guys really want to get scared? Have a look at this. That was me at 252 pounds. Yep, 252. That was 2005. Hey, Jan, how's it going? So I didn't do myself any favors. I worked in the computer training industry for 25 years, and I pretty much got fat and happy, and didn't do myself any favors at all. So you guys have any questions on losing weight, getting in shape, working on Stormtrooper? I'm a retired Marine, so me and Stormtrooper will get along just fine. Anyhow, if you have any questions on anything, it doesn't have to be personal training related, health related. You want to talk about the flu that's happening right now. We're getting nailed, you guys, literally. The Australian flu, the H3N1, has gone and created a variant that they didn't count on when they created this year's flu vaccine. So the current vaccine, you still got to get it. If you haven't gotten that shot, get that freaking shot. Seriously. People are getting sick and dying because of this. I'm talking healthy people in their 20s. I'm talking children. People are dying from this flu this year, this season, because it is so bad. It's the worst flu season we've had in about 7 years now. And it's the Australian, the influenza A that came out this time. And every year they try to guess which ones are going to hit this year. And it's always a hit or miss situation. Sometimes they nail it pretty good. Sometimes they don't. It's going to be getting better. But believe me, right now, everybody, if you haven't gotten the flu shot yet, get it. If you think you have the flu or you are experiencing flu symptoms, and you can look them up on the internet, basically it's all the usual, but this year is really bad with the congestion and the headache. There's just extra nasty this year. So get the flu shot if you haven't gotten it. It takes about 2 weeks to really kick in and be effective. All right, and if you smoke cigarettes, get rid of them. You can't even begin to get your health in order if you smoke cigarettes. 31 years, I smoked mostly Camel filters, about a pack a day. Had my first cigarette about 13, 14 years old, and by the time I was 15 years old, I was a pack-a-day smoker, and stayed there till I was 46. So, like I say, I didn't help myself. I was 250 pounds. I was a pack-a-day smoker. At that time, when the doctor says to you, you have type 2 diabetes, if you don't start making changes in your life, start taking off some weight, get rid of the cigarettes, you can start looking at which toes and which fingers you don't like, because eventually they're going to cut them off. With type 2 diabetes, diabetic neuropathy is nothing to play around with, you guys. So first and foremost, you got to get rid of the cigarettes. Second, you got to get rid of the weight. If you're overweight, you've obviously got to get down to the proper BMI. As a personal trainer and health coach, I'm not as concerned about your weight as I am your body mass index. Are you in the proper BMI range, the proper body mass index range to be healthy for your height and your weight? And that's how we determine it. You can look up your BMI right now. All of you who know your height and weight, just Google the BMI index or go over to the cdc.gov. You can look up a body mass index scale or BMI scale, and right now figure out what your BMI is. When I was 252 pounds, my BMI was 38. 38, which meant I was obese at that time. So here I was obese, 252 pounds. I was in my 31st year of smoking cigarettes, right? And the doctor tells me, you have type 2 diabetes. So at that time, I had to make some choices. I had to get rid of about 110 pounds. I'm 110 pounds less than I was at 252. My BMI is now around 22, as it should be. And my body fat currently is somewhere between 6 and 8%, depending on the day. Now, I still eat everything that I've ever eaten before. I don't deny myself foods. I still eat comfort foods. I like my fried chicken. I like steak. I'll hit McDonald's. I get a filet and fish and double quarter pounder with cheese and fries. But I don't do it all the time. That's the difference. Because now I understand that it depends on the number of calories I'm putting into my system versus the number of calories that I'm burning on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. I mean, it's all a simple math game, to be honest. If you are overweight, that simply means that 3,500 calories additional creates 1 pound of fat. So if you're 10 pounds overweight, 35,000 calories. You want to lose 10 pounds? You need to burn off 35,000 calories. It is a simple numbers game. Being healthy is 75% your nutrition, what you're putting into your body, 25% your activity, right? Your exercise is got to come in. You cannot ignore either or. But again, most of my clients are under the misconception, and, a personal trainer, they're going to come chase them down and make them run around the block and yell at them and exercise, exercise, exercise. No, the proper personal trainers and health coaches, a health coach is a personal trainer times 10. And that was the certification I wanted the most, a certified health coach, because I understand losing weight versus gaining weight, healthy versus unhealthy, balanced versus unbalanced. When you're overweight, you're out of balance. When you're eating more than you're burning, you're out of balance. If you are on that pre-diabetics list in America right now, and that's a scary number, guys, out of 325 million Americans, 84 million Americans currently have prediabetes. That means that they're right on the line. And if you're one of those folks out there right now, and you probably have some idea, if you're overweight, if you're obese, 2 out of 3 Americans are in both of those categories right now. I was there, I know. If you're overweight or you're obese, then the odds of you having prediabetes skyrocket, literally skyrocket. If you're sedentary, if you spend all of your time and all of your days sitting around and you're not exercising, I don't care if you're 20 or 80, it doesn't matter. If you're sedentary, if you're always sitting around, you're doing damage to your body. Long-term sitting can create lordosis in the lower spine. Brad, what's lordosis? You know, an old horse, you see an old horse, you go to, and the back on the horse is like a U shape. You know, they call it an old nag. That's lordosis. In human beings, it takes our lumbar and pushes it forward towards our stomach. Okay? It's one of the three congenital disorders, the most common ones. You already know the hunchback, that's kyphosis. Hunchback, you know, that's kyphosis. Scoliosis, you're aware of, that's where the spine curves in either an S or a C, and it also has a tendency to turn as well. Scoliosis is really nasty. I have it mildly, I understand. And then lordosis, that's the one where the lower back, the lumbar pushes forward, also displaces hips. When you're sitting for a long period of time, this is what's going to happen. So sitting for long periods of time is not going to do your lower back any good. It's not going to do your metabolism any good. It's just not going to do you any good, period. For a guy who sat on the job for 25 years in computer training and got up to 250 pounds, I know. You know, I've been there, done that. That's why now I can help others, probably a little bit better than some, especially folks who've never been overweight or never smoked cigarettes, never been obese. It's kind of hard to really understand what you're facing when you're sitting there in that position, and it's not something that you're going to fix overnight. See if anybody has any questions before I keep yammering at you. See who's joined us now. Hey, Con, how's it going, William? Good to see you. Seriously, you guys challenge me with any questions. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, I was talking with a lady the other day on here who has anorexia, and she's facing challenges with that. I spoke with a gentleman on here the other day who wanted me to address his dad, basically. All of these are being saved to Tumblr and YouTube, and he's basically going to have his dad watch the one where we were talking about. His father has got both pre-diabetes, he's overweight, and he's a cigarette smoker. He's 55, this gentleman was. And the guy was telling me that his dad keeps on saying he thinks he's too old, he's too far gone, it's too late for him to make any changes. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. I don't care if you were like me. You smoked cigarettes for 31 years and got to the point where you were literally the Pillsbury Doughboy, and I was. Right? You can make changes. I was 46 years old, hit with type 2 diabetes, and I've spent most of my adult life just, getting there. Right? So when you're in that position and you're overweight or obese, you need to lose weight. Don't look at these commercials you see on television. Ignore the diet plans, the diet fads, the diet programs, the lap band surgeries and bariatric surgeries. I had a friend who went and did the bariatric surgery. And yes, he took off 200 pounds with that bariatric surgery. Unfortunately, he didn't change his lifestyle. 3 years later, he was right back where he was before the surgery. So, what lesson do we learn from that? Losing weight is something that you need to do slowly over time. It's a lifestyle change. I don't want you to go on a diet. That's the last thing I want you to do. I don't want you to start eating cardboard and rice, cakes and, all of my folks that tend to start this have a real poor attitude about, oh my God, I'm going to have to start eating horrible stuff and green food all the time, and all of my fun time is gone. And people really tend to freak out when they think they're going to have to, one, start going on a diet, watching what they eat, and two, exercising. I mean, nobody looks forward to exercising. I mean, the last thing I wanted to do, especially let me show you again, just for those who joined us. Seriously, I keep this on purpose, you guys. Hey, Rodney. Hey, Clark. I keep this on purpose. It's my old driver's license. That was me at 252 pounds. Got it? 252. Well, I'm 142 pounds now. That's 110 pounds less, obviously. So I know what it's like to be that kind of weight, to be that kind of size. I guarantee you at that time, There was no way I wanted to walk into a health club with some, nothing personal, millennial, personal trainer come ditzing up to me, can I help you? I mean, no. So I understand that. Now I help people lose weight via Skype. That's the most common one. Um, I work with them on the phone. I work with them on text. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for my clients the most. The key is when you're going to lose weight, and 2/3 of America right now has to lose weight. I mean, we can't deny the numbers. 67% of America is either overweight or obese right now. 67%. I mean, that's a crazy number, you guys. And 84, that's over 200 million Americans, just if you want to know the numbers. So 200 million Americans are currently either overweight or obese. Me there, I know. I remember my waist size at the largest was about a 44, 46, and I'm only 5'8". So, at 252, I was really big. But I didn't get that way overnight, right? So I didn't take it off overnight either. I didn't do diets. I didn't do surgeries. I didn't do the lap bands. What I simply did was figured out, one, what kind of exercise am I going to be able to do that I'm going to like, that I'll be able to enjoy, that'll make me keep doing it. So that's one of the most important things on the 25% exercise side, right? I don't care if you like to jog, walk, play tennis, swim, something that gets you up, your heart pumping at least a medium intensity level. For those that need to lose weight, 1 hour, 5 times a week. 5 hours a week, putting in the exercise that you need, the cardio you need to get the weight off, right? An hour, 5 times a week. That's minimal, okay? Now, beyond that, the other 75% you need to concentrate is your diet. And again, I'm not talking about eating rice cakes and, eating cardboard and everything has to be a salad and green, okay? Let's be realistic. You're not going to stop eating what you're eating now. For the most part, you aren't. But what I'm asking is for you to start looking at your portion sizes, okay? Because that is going to make the difference. Again, let me repeat. Every 3,500 calories that you consume, that you don't burn off in some form of energy, some form of exercise or movement of something, will turn into 1 pound of fat. It's that simple. It's a simple math formula. Conversely, for every 3,500 calories that you burn, that takes off 1 pound of fat. So you have that choice, daily basis. Okay, you want to have pizza. Great, have a couple slices of pizza. Don't eat the whole damn thing. You want to have a slice of chocolate cake, a la President Trump? Great, have some chocolate cake. But let's have 1 piece and a reasonable size. And forget the a la mode. When you're trying to lose weight, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you want to have what's known as a negative energy balance, okay, instead of a positive energy balance. If not on a daily basis, at least by the end of the week. That simply means a negative energy balance means that by the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever time frame that we're going by, you have burned off more calories than you have consumed. Okay? How do you figure that out? Well, let's take the 200-pound person. 200-pound guy or 150-pound female, just whatever. Let's say a 200-pound person right now. And they're in shape. They're already in shape. All their numbers are good. The doctors are happy with their numbers. They're happy with everything, their blood pressure, their cholesterol, their A1C, their BMI. Everything is good. Okay? They're 200 pounds. To remain at 200 pounds, in other words, not to gain any weight, not to lose any weight, they're going to consume about 1,900 calories a day. Okay? Again, for every 3,500 calories that they consume above and beyond that 1,900 calorie per day just to keep them at that weight, for every 3,500 additional calories they eat, that will turn into 1 pound of fat. Okay? For the simple formula. So And we all can figure out, I mean, if you haven't learned how to read food labels yet, that's one of the key things that I do is to teach people how to read new food labels because, like I say, 75% of the concentration you need to put in to be healthy is in your nutrition, your diet, what you're putting into your body. And yeah, what goes into your body is extremely important, but initially, and for the point of losing weight, it's got to be the portion sizes. It's got to be the total amount of calories. I don't care if you're eating health food all day long. If you're eating 3,500 additional calories of health food, that's still going to put on a pound. So, yes, the quality of what you eat is going to matter and does matter. It's extremely important. I can tell you now, as a certified personal trainer and especially as a certified health coach, I wouldn't be a very good one if I couldn't walk the walk, besides talk the talk. Same with personal trainer. My most important client and my first client is me. I put in 10 hours a week minimum, just getting my cardio, putting in weights, just so that I can show the folks I'm going to be 59 this year. Okay, so I'm not a youngster anymore. And at 46 years old, that's when I got hit with type 2 diabetes. That's when I was 252 pounds and still smoking a pack a day of cigarettes, my 31st year. So the point is, you can make changes, you can get better at any age, at any time. It's a slow process. I didn't get fat and overweight overnight. It didn't happen overnight. And I can tell you right now, there are really no symptoms to gaining weight, getting fat, becoming obese. There are no symptoms to it. You know, before I started having the weird symptoms for diabetes, and I'll talk about those in a minute. Before I started having the symptoms for diabetes, I was literally fat and happy. I'm working in the computer industry, computer training industry for, quarter century, 25 years. I was very good at what I did. I loved what I did. I'd go into the office in the morning and I'd be there at my desk working on the computer, talking to clients on the phone, driving out to meetings to go talk about training them. Bottom line is I spent most of my time sitting, right? I wasn't doing any formal exercise program most of the time. I ate whatever I wanted in whatever portions I wanted. I didn't really care. I can still remember the days going out to lunch and hitting multiple places for lunch and getting burgers and fries and shakes and whatever I wanted, taking it all back to the office, schlepping it in, sitting down, eating it right there at my desk, and continuing to work. And doing that all afternoon. Then I'd go home and I'd have a nice big dinner and I'd sit there and work on the computer again till bedtime. So I was spending most of my time sitting, either in the office, in the car traffic to go to meetings, or in the car traffic to go home, or again, at home, either on the computer, even if I was sitting there watching TV.